Right. Bismillah. Alhamdulillah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam Jumaat. Salam Jumaat 18 Disember. Hi, good morning Mr. Jagdev.
Selamat pagi Linda, sihat warga, kabar kepada
Alhamdulillah.
semua warga-warga
Yes.
Malaysia.
Yeah, say hi to them first. I know we kick off a little bit early this morning just because we want to set up and setting up, make sure the connections is good and stable and uninterrupted, insyaAllah. Right?
Okay.
So, Mr. Jagdev, kita berada di 18 Disember. Oh my God, Masya Allah, kita towards the end of the year. 18 Disember again, 2020. Why I say that again and again? Because time flies, right? And today, on a very blessed Friday, kita berada di siri ketiga dan siri final. Jangan menangis, Mr. Jagdev masih yang terakhir untuk tahun ini bersama-sama Mr. Jagdev. Alright, insyaAllah Mr. Jagdev, if God's will, you will be invited again and again by next year. Right? Kita ada banyak lagi perkongsian yang kita nak share dengan ramai. Okay, so basically kita nak testing dulu. Ada tak mereka mendengar kita? Wait let me see. Ada tak mereka mendengar kita? Let me see. Okay, sekejap Mr. Jagdev. I tengok sekejap. Okay, good. So ada yang dah masuk. So just maybe comment yes. Okay, clear. Sorry, maybe can comment clear sementara kita menunggu lebih ramai masuk hari ini. Yes, we are 11 sharp. Macam kita katakan, kita tak nak membuang masa untuk hari ini kerana Mr. Jagdev walaupun di siri yang terakhir, yang ketiga, on top of 3 lagi inflammatory food yang akan dikongsi bersama-sama kita sekejap lagi, sebentar lagi kita ada bonus sharing on Blue Zone. Please wait till the end. Itu adalah sharing yang terakhir kejap lagi. I mean parts yang terakhir, sorry, on the Blue Zone. Tapi kita raikan those who is, sesiapa yang dah berada bersama kita. Puan Fadila, terima kasih. Maybe tekan butang share. Mohon tekan butang share for those who is tuning. Siapa yang dah bersama-sama kita, mohon tekan butang share so that it reach more people. Right, insyaAllah. So let me see. Tolong tekan butang, tolong klik comment sedikit that you are boleh dengar ataupun clear. Sebenarnya kita masuk awal hari ini sebab kita nak bagi Mr. Jagdev sedikit recap lah, as usual. Mungkin sesiapa yang tertinggal, saya memberi sedikit introductions kepada Mr. Jagdev kita, iaitu he is a trained kita panggil professionally as a pharmacist, for the past 35 years. Bayangkan, wait, I told you, look at him, still young and vibrant and sharp.
Thank you very much.
He still reads a lot, we just shared just now before we live. He's on top of business already, bukan macam like me. I'm still in the business, in meaning that kita need to be, still in operational. But Mr. Jagdev is so much so a successful business person, dah on top of business, meaning that his business is already running automated. Alright, so good about him. Now during this ample of time, he's been reading. Dia membaca banyak. He shared some of the books that he's been reading for now. Alright, thank you Fadila. Thank you those who already commented clear. Thank you so much. Waalaikumsalam and hi. Alright, without further ado, Mr. Jagdev, kita ada almost 10 that viewing us. Alright, so as we mentioned, part 1 kita dah complete ataupun bercerita about 3 inflammatory foods yang causes inflammation. Sebab topik kita masih inflammations. Our body is on fire, right? Betul. We want to discuss what are the silent markers. Apa silent markers yang kita maybe tak tahu dan tak sedar dan tak perasan, sejak dikata. And the part 2 is also another 3 inflammatory markers. And hari ni beliau akan habiskan part 3. And as I said, kita ada a little bit bonus sharings on Blue Zone. Masya Allah, what are those? Maybe ramai yang even doctors, yang physicians among us mungkin tak perasan ataupun not aware about this Blue Zone. But today it's just an eye opener. Kita sharing sahaja. We're not going to give a full lecture out of it. Okay, Mr. Jagdev, enough introductions for 3 minutes. Alright. So now over to you, Mr. Jagdev. Silakan.
Okay, terima kasih Dr. Linda.
Masya Allah. Thank you so
Salam
much.
sejahtera lagi sekali kepada warga Malaysia yang sedang tuning dengan kita punya live Facebook. Harap-harap semuanya sihat walafiat belaka. Okay. We are here to sharing on health aja as much as possible so that we continue to enjoy our health, and that's all we have. As they say, health is wealth. Health is wealth. Okay, you may not have any penny, but if you have all the health in the world, you have all the enjoyment to enjoy this living here. Now, just to recap, okay, this is the third segment or the final segment seperti yang Dr. Linda cakap tadi. The first segment kita sentuh tentang 3 food. So this is just a quick recap, quick ulang kaji. Okay. Okay, number 1, siapa yang orang yang masuk pertama kali ni, okay. First is sugar. All forms of sugar, they all are bad. We need to cut down as much as possible. Kalau boleh, stop sugar, especially white sugar. White sugar is white poison. Okay, point number 1. What sugar can be taken? Maybe madu can be taken, 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoon maximum, or the other one is stevia. That's another alternative. But even your alternative sweetener jangan guna sucralose ke apa macam-macam benda-benda yang semua synthetic. They're all synthetic, artificial. Okay, betul. So that's point number 1. Point number 2, I spoke about common cooking oil. Cooking oil sebenarnya mereka menggunakan satu macam perkataan minyak sayur-sayuran. Kalau kita tengok itu konten minyak-minyak tu bukan, tak ada kena-mengena dengan sayur-sayuran pun. Dia semua seed oil. They are all a seed oil. And the worst of the 3 seed oil that I always talk about is sunflower oil. Jangan guna sunflower oil. Corn oil. Actually, corn is not a seed. Corn is a grain. Okay, corn is a grain. So it's a grain oil. Okay, sunflower oil, seed oil, and soya bean. This is 3 oils that I recommend not to use. Kerana apa? Kerana ada banyak omega 6, surplus extra omega 6, and omega 6 has already been linked to inflammation. Okay, or peradangan. Number 3 is refined grain, white rice, white bread. This is really very bad. These are all processed, refined foods that you should actually avoid sama sekali kalau boleh lah. Actually, cakap je senang, tapi kat luar tu banyak melambat. You cannot, masa you berlapar, you makan je. That's a problem lah tu. Okay. Then you also got trans fats, everything which is made of margarine, and margarine derivative is already bad. Shortening, for example. Kalau kita buat biscuit, jangan guna margarine. Kalau ada margarine, maknanya margarine tu dia sebagai satu compound yang body cannot accept, so body will react, inflamasi akan berlaku. Sekali 2 kali tak apa, tapi kalau hari-hari makan, habislah. Okay, that's the issue there. Then number 4 was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yang number 5, dairy product, susu. Many people think that susu is healthy, but again, I'll say again and again, susu is only for the young. Bila kita we are infant, yes, we need susu, but as adults, we don't need susu, and susu has been linked to inflammation. And number 6 was feedlot, raised meat yang it is raised in the farms. These are not the ayam kampung, tapi ayam so-called farm raised. They are not raised in a proper way. They are not given the proper food, so the meat becomes improper. Okay, they're given a lot of antibiotic, a lot of injections are being used to fatten them up, to make sure that they become very available to the market at a higher price. I can sell bigger size, but actually they are all fluffed up animals. Okay, they are not good for ingestion, for makan. They can also cause inflammation. Okay, so these are the 6 group of foods that I have been telling people not to take. Today we will cover 3 more. Okay.
Okay, ready Mr. Jagdev. Kita dah 8
Oh,
minutes past 11. Please,
okay.
we can start
Let's
on
go.
that so that kita ada banyak masa maybe untuk question and answers so that insyaAllah yang kita akan cover on the
Okay.
okay,
Okay,
please.
first and foremost, this is
As
again
usual.
my disclaimer, because why? I'm not a dietitian, I'm only a pharmacist. Whatever I'm going to share with you is based on my own personal research. Okay,
Betul.
and it may not necessarily be in line with current norms or practices. Sometimes doktor cakap lain, sometimes I cakap lain. The whole idea is I am triggering your mind. You go back and do your own research, because why? This is not about the person who's going to share with you the information. It's about your body, your health. So you go and research and find out for yourself. I'm here to trigger your mind. Okay. The information herein should not be used to replace any medical advice or treatments for medical condition. Please seek your medical advice from your doctors. They are the best people to advise you. But as I said here, I'm giving you extra information. Go and do your own research, okay? And then decide for yourself. And number 3, you always seek further clarification from your physician, nutritionists, and dietitians. After doing your research, you want to share this information with your doctors, go ahead. Because we all are in the process of learning. Semua kita tengah belajar, okay? We all are learning.
Tengah proses adult learning sama. This is adult learning. Yeah.
So even I am learning, okay? Sometimes if I find out that I'm saying something which is wrong already, because based on latest information, I will have to change, I will change, okay? Because that's what information is all about. Okay, so
right.
Next one, okay? Okay, now number 7 is red and processed meat. Now, what is processed meat? Now, many people don't, dia tak tahu okay? This actually processed meat ni macam bacon, sausage, salami. Now, many people are not aware. They have already been classified by WHO, World Health Organization. They have already classified it as highly likely to cause cancer. This is not my classification. This is based on WHO, World Health Organization, classification of red and processed meat, sausages, and hot dogs. Bacon. Now, a lot of people take hot dogs. A lot of people take sausages, but they are already, now if you're going to take every day or you're going to take very often, you are in trouble, because they have already been classified as highly probable to cause cancer. All right, now you can see there, pork, beef, and lamb, red meats including probable causes of cancer. That's 2A. Okay, the number 1 is the worst one. Top one, one high means highly causing cancer causing, and sausages, bacon, salami, they all are highly probable. I mean, not even probable causes of cancer. So you be very, very careful. Now I know of countries, they have already been telling this to their citizens. Okay, example, Belgium. Belgium has now come up with a new food pyramid. They have removed all these foods out, all these animal foods out already. They are actually going more towards vegan, veggie ke apa ke. Now I'll explain to you after blue zone. What do people in the blue zone eat? But definitely they don't eat sausages, hot dogs, bacon, salami. They tak makan.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so that's point number 1. Very, very important. Now here I'm talking of processed meat. Processed, that means meat which has been processed, and also red meat like pork, beef, lamb. They also got red part. Now what is it in the red part of the meat or in the processed meat that can cause these problems? Now there is a compound. Don't worry about the words. I'm just telling you because I'm scientific. So we have to share this information to give it more credible. But there's a compound called NEU5GC. This is called a sialic acid, which is found in the meat. And they have now found that this compound can menyebabkan inflamasi dalam kita punya badan. And they are all coming from the red meat or processed meat. Okay. Now human body, okay, dia tak ada NEU5GC ni. Okay. Kalau kita baca, kita tengok sini, actually, it is NEU5AC. That's the one which is found in humans and animals. But when it is new NEU5GC, this compound, which is found in these animals, okay, in processed meat and in this red meat, and this this compound, once get into your body, okay, it can cause chronic inflammation. Okay, so this is again something very, very new. They are just how relevant is this? How widespread is this? How this is going to affect human beings? We still are learning, but we already found out about this particular compound, which can cause inflammation. Okay, so you have to just be careful. Kalau makan pun, eat very, very less. Shouldn't be your main source of food. We know this is all part of Western food. Eating steak, eating lamb ribs and all that. This is all part of the Western food. Actually, we Asians, we never used to eat this kind of food on a daily basis. Okay, now we know that Western have gone on the wrong side of the health. There are a lot of problems Westerners are having. Are we going to follow? Okay, cool. So kita kena tanya soalan macam ni. Masa dulu kala meat was very, very taken very less. Katakan masa bila when I was a young boy, meat was only served once a week or maybe once a month. Betul tak?
Yeah,
right?
I think I kind of agree the moderation, Mr. Jagdev. We have to live in moderation. Once a week, macam tu moderate. It's kind of moderate already. Tapi bukan every week juga kadang-kadang kan?
So some people today, they're so macam dia punya lidah dia sudah macam nak meat every day. This is where the problem is. Every day you feel that if you don't have meat, you cannot eat. And there are a lot of people like that. Now some people survive, but many don't. Okay, and this is the reason behind why red meat and processed meat can cause inflammation. And I think this is a message which is already been given by doctors. Okay, doctors already telling you don't take red meat, don't take processed meat, and I think this is already in line with what the nutritionists are also saying. Okay, and this is giving deeper depth to the information that there is a compound which can cause inflammation. Okay, so that's number 2. Number 7. Number 7. Okay. Any questions? Number 7. I know this is going to be very, very difficult. Orang hari-hari makan meat tu, but you can have a big problem because we are now knowing that there is a link between eating too much of meat and inflammation. So Dr. Linda is right. Moderation is important. Okay, any questions at this moment of time?
So far, the part 1 is clear. I think that's quite straightforward. We can move on to the 8 and 9. Come on, Mr. Jagdev. All right.
8 and 9. Okay, now alcohol. Now, again, this is based on science. I'm just sharing you based on science. But I know there could be a lot of people who are religious, who follow the Muslim way of living. Alcohol is definitely no, tak boleh pakai. Okay, so please refrain from taking alcohol. It's actually a good idea. Refrain from taking alcohol because why? Now, based on science, a little bit of alcohol is fine. Okay, based on science saja. Tapi kalau now the big problem is orang ambil sikit, dia tak boleh habis. Dia tak boleh stop sana. Dia will continue. Itulah problem dia. Okay, so cannot stop at 1 or 2 glasses. Okay, now what is the problem with alcohol? Now, a little bit of alcohol, as I said now, each one glass of red wine. Okay, this is based on science. I'm not talking from the point of religion. Based on science, a little bit of alcohol, acute alcohol, is actually anti-inflammatory. Okay, because it will have some effect so it becomes anti-inflammatory. 1. Okay, siapa stop at 1? Kalau orang minum mesti 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tak habis-habis orang minum. So this is where the problem is. Because why? And then they drink very often. So chronic alcohol. So when there's chronic alcohol, inflammation will definitely happen. Okay. Now what is the problem? So moderate alcohol consumption is okay, but however higher amounts can lead to severe problems. Now, one way, satu cara nak mengetahui bahawa kita punya inflammation dalam kita punya badan tu meningkat ke tak meningkat, of course you can ask your doctors, is to look for a marker called CRP. It's called C-reactive protein. Can you see this C-reactive protein ni? Okay. So I've always asked whenever I give a talk to public, because
do you know your level? Tanya balik
Yeah. Do you know your level of CRP? Because why? You tanya hypertension, okay, they check your blood pressure. Dia ada machine. Kalau nak tanya sugar, dia tahu sugar level dia.
Kolesterol lagi tahu.
Lagi tahu. Semua orang tahu. Okay. Tapi pasal CRP, tak pernah dengar. Ada orang tak pernah dengar. So sometimes I tell even doctors, okay, because why? CRP is not routinely done. Kalau kita tengok routine, it's not routinely done. By right, it should be routinely done. Why? Because CRP can give a clue to inflammation yang tengah berlaku. Of course, there are any test got false positive, false negative. So CRP can also be raised by many other factors like inflammation, for example. Tapi infection CRP can also be raised, but you have to, once you remove all that, and if your CRP is raised, most highly likely your inflammation is already rising. So please ask your doctor to include CRP testing, C-reactive protein, as part and parcel of your blood test. Okay.
Jagdev, Cok.
Okay,
in my practice, since because these are important markers that you raised, we even do HS, means high sensitive CRP, Mr. Jagdev, right?
Correct.
I remember CRP those days, I memang selalu buat, right? I mean, because memang part of our medical checkup kind of thing. That's why the medical checkup ni kita panggil lifestyle medical checkup. It's not, bukan tak boleh panggil medical checkup macam biasa tu bagus atau tak bagus, tapi dia macam sejak dia pernah discuss kan beberapa sesi yang lepas, they may not be conclusive, right? If you want to know further or in detail, HS ni lagi high sensitive towards this inflammation. Right, correct. Just additional, over to you.
Betul, Dr. Linda. Of course, Dr. Linda ni dia faster than the normal curve lah. So she does all this. But you'll be surprised, a lot of doctors still don't do CRP. And if you look at the company yang buat routine test, you tengok dia punya standard test tu, CRP is normally not included. So make sure you include CRP in your testing, because it can give you a clue or HS-CRP. HS, Dr. Linda is right, HS or highly sensitive CRP. And this study, they found that people who drink a lot of alcohol, your CRP will go up. Okay, so that's a definite indication that alcohol can increase CRP. Actually, alcohol can also increase blood pressure. Alcohol will increase your heart rate. You see your heart rate going up, okay? Your blood pressure will go up over a period of time. So these are all telling you that something is not right about alcohol. So alcohol, if possible, don't drink at all. Kalau nak minum pun, 1 or 2 glasses for those who are non-Muslim. Muslim, please, I'm not here advocating drinking of alcohol. In fact, if you don't drink alcohol, even better. Jangan. Okay. Now, people who drink heavily may develop problems with bacterial toxins moving out of the colon and into the body. Now, this is called leaky gut. Okay, leaky gut, and this is a very common problem. A lot of people are having. Many things can cause leaky gut. One of the things that can cause leaky gut, continuous intake of alcohol. Benda ni sepatutnya tak boleh masuk dalam kita punya badan. Tapi bila ada leaky gut tu, okay, for example kita punya colon ataupun kita punya intestine tu, dia ketat, dia tight junction. Dia ketat, tapi kalau dia dah macam dah ada lubang kat sana tu, okay, can happen. So you find things going into your body, and these are things which are not supposed to go into your body. Toxins from the bacteria can go into your body. Once it goes into your body, it will give rise to a lot of inflammation kat dalam kita punya body, depending on where it settles down. This is called lipopolysaccharides from the bacteria, LPS from the bacteria which can go in. And one of the factors that can cause leaky gut is alcohol intake, right? So this is the recommendation from, again, these are all based on kita punya risalah yang I baca tu. Okay, it's all mentioned here. For those who want to drink alcohol, this is easier said than done. 1 or 2 drinks for men and 1 for women. Itu saja per day. Kalau for those who drinking, but for those who are Muslims here, please, alcohol is refrained. You cannot take alcohol based on your religion. So that's number 2. Senang aja.
Betul. Quite straightforward on that kan.
Okay.
So this
Any
is
questions?
So far so good. They are patiently hearing and waiting for the next.
Okay.
Alright.
Now the next one is the most difficult, because why? It is called artificial food, coloring, preservatives and additives. Ni kan dalam dunia pemakanan ni, industri ni, industri ataupun commercial industry of food, every food industry suka guna benda-benda macam ni.
Aduhai.
And this is the biggest problem. Because why? They want to keep, for example, preservative. Pasal apa dia masuk preservative? Dia nak keep benda tu lama on the shelf. On the shelf of the supermarket shelf. Okay? They want to keep it longer. Okay? Now, if you eat this kind of food, yes, they they remain longer in the shelf, but it shortens your shelf life. Your shelf life is shortened. Their shelf life is longer. Tapi kalau you makan, your shelf life is shortened. Okay, so you have to be very. This one is very difficult to avoid because if you're eating outside, very difficult to avoid. You have to eat at home. Kalau boleh. Now, artificial food, banyak artificial food kat luar tu. I'll show you in a short while. Artificial food. In fact, nowadays, even rice has become artificial. Eggs have become artificial. Banyak benda-benda yang orang buat macam sesama. In fact, tiruan. In fact, actually, margarine pun was part of the artificial food trying to replace butter, for example. That was where the whole idea came from. They started butter bad. So, they brought in margarine. It's actually artificial food. Margarine is artificial food. Dia guna, so colouring. Colouring ni budak-budak suka colouring. Okay. Ni colouring ni bukan colouring dalam buku. Ni colouring yang masuk dalam kita punya makanan tu. Okay. Kita nak tengok, of course, for example, there's some kuih, for example, which are green in colour, red in colour. I remember my mother used to use colouring, but they are actually you can find natural colouring. Okay. You can use whatever natural colouring they are available. From the leaves, from the flower, they are all natural coloring which we can use, but we do not know how to use this coloring. So there must be some way, of course, you can go and learn about natural coloring to put natural coloring in your food. For example, hibiscus, dia ada warna merah tu. Actually, hibiscus flower tu kita boleh makan.
Boleh makan,
Okay. So hibiscus flower tu, okay, bunga raya, hibiscus, which is our national flower, very proudly is our national flower. We can eat. And it's very good to calm your stomach. People don't know this, okay? To calm your stomach, hibiscus. Now you can use hibiscus as a coloring for your food. Macam kalau nak buat kuih yang lapis, kuih lapis tu yang kuih Melayu putih merah tu kan? Kuih lapis kan?
Okay? Lapis lah nama dia.
Okay, so I know, I remember my mother used to use coloring tu, botol coloring tu. Now you can use a hibiscus as your form of coloring. Now I know that kalau kita pergi ke Kelantan, kita makan nasi kerabu tu warna biru. That's natural coloring. It's very powerful. That biru tu ada banyak anthocyanins into their antioxidants. And they are very powerful antioxidant. Okay, so that's the reason why this natural way of doing things. Okay, now let me just share with you an additives. Banyak orang taruh additive ni. Okay, now ni dia. Okay, preservative, coloring. This is the coloring lah. Those days we because why my parents, my mother, we were staying in Barrack Police. Okay, masa tu bapa I police. So Barrack Police dia mesti ada kaum ibu. Okay, kaum ibu. So they will have every week, 1 week, so on. Dia belajar macam mana nak masak ni, and I remember my mother using all these kind of things those days lah. Okay, so we need to reduce it. Okay, emulsifier, stabilizer, bleaching, pH control agents, leveling agents. Macam-macam kita guna hari ni. Okay, these are all food related, food industry suka guna benda-benda macam ni untuk bukan saja
mencantikkan,
mengenakkan also. Okay, so that we can be eating more. Tapi at the end of the day, these are all dangerous items that the body. Now,
Mr. Jagdev, there's even one definition, kita terminology lah, aesthetic food. Dia macam just for aesthetically wise tau. Macam aesthetically, that's the word.
Nampak cantik, tapi dalam tak cantik.
It may not, we want the nutrient also. Tapi talking about that, dulu kan kita pakai daun pandan untuk dapatkan kuih hijau. Macam tu lah. Cuma maybe prosesnya agak renyah, betul tak?
Yeah, good
Take a longer
example. Good example, Dr. Linda. Daun pandan. Daun pandan, not only the coloring, even the aroma dia macam sedap. Okay, tapi sekarang kita guna ada daun pandan tapi artificial punya flavor.
Daun pandan
Kita guna
lah.
flavor daun pandan, nampak je daun pandan tapi bukan daun pandan, dia artificial. So science, chemistry has now developed a lot of taste which are all chemical taste, looks like tapi itu bukan taste original. And this is a major problem. Okay, now I give you a good example. So these are all, these are all our children are taking now. Ni macam-macam gula-gula ni. Okay, some of this gula-gula macam biasa kita nampak. Okay, biasa kita tengok children are taking. Macam mana I tengok children tu makan, auntie, children kau makan artificial food tu tak bagus. I tak boleh cakap macam tu. Okay, so this information must kita kena peka, kita kena be sensitive. Hi, this food is not good for my children. You have to stop. You have not, because why? Who are encouraging the children to eat? Parents. Why? Because the children ask, parents buy. If your parents must explain, okay, benda ni tak sihat, and we explain to them very early in life, then they will change. But if we are going to support them and give them this food, in fact, I sometimes tell grandfather, grandmother yang paling biggest culprit ni. Dia suka manja-manjakan kita punya grandchildren tu. Sometimes lah, bukan semua. These are old school lah. Okay, we didn't understand. Tapi sekarang kita understand. These are food which is not good. They are all artificial. And because artificial, the body does not accept it. The body akan menyahkan benda-benda ni, so the body has to react. So inflammasi is one way of reacting to keluarkan toksik macam ni. Okay, so this is why I tell people don't take this kind of food. Okay, this artificial food. Now this is another problem that we are having right now. Kalau in fact I know, I'm not so sure about Malaysia. Okay, watermelon, katakan watermelon. Okay, orang suka makan watermelon tu mesti sedap, mesti sweet. Okay, so you know what they are doing? They are injecting sugar inside. This is a problem. Okay, this is health risks of artificial food coloring. Okay, so you see the coloring here. They actually are adding coloring to make it look red, for example, make it look right, for example. Now I'm not so sure. They are actually using ripening agents on bananas, for example, pisang. Okay, you will see black dots all over the place. These are all ripening agents. They are trying to ripen the bananas. So this is, as I said, like, it's sinful, but this is what's happening. You very difficult to get out of this issue. Best is to tanam sendiri, tapi tanam sendiri kita tak ada masa. Okay, unless you got the farm and all that kind of stuff. So these are real problems. How you can tengok. Dulu apple dia kecil aja, sekarang apple dia sudah besar. You can see for yourself. Masa dulu the watermelon was so small. Nowadays you see the mangoes becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay, something is definitely happening to the industry. Okay, I also don't know. Okay, tapi we are knowing that they are adding all this kind of food, artificial food coloring. Okay, now this is watermelon. Now this is a real story. They are making the watermelon. They don't only putting the sugar, but they are also putting coloring agent kat dalam tu. Pasal apa? Kalau kita tengok watermelon tu macam putih-putih je, kita tak sedap lah, tak not nice. Cantik. Because watermelon must be red in color. So this is what Dr. Linda said as now lah. Aesthetic. Pandang mesti tenang, okay, mesti betul. Tapi this is the issue. We do not know. I'm not so sure about Malaysia, tapi I know that some countries around the world are already doing it because I've seen the videos. They are actually adding artificial coloring, artificial a good example is I know I saw one video udang tu macam Melayu dah, dia masuk udang tu bagi dia tegap sikit. Okay, what are they adding? You be surprised what they adding. They're adding all the kind of same thing that we add to preserve the body, masuk je dalam tu bagi dia nampak segar sikit. So itulah problemnya sekarang. Fish also the same thing. Dia masuk injection bagi dia nampak segar. Big problem lah actually ini. And this is I got no answers. this one enforcement must come in to check the food, check whether ada chemical kat dalam tu. Enforcement aja boleh tahu. Kita pun tak tahu macam mana nak tahu. Okay?
Right, yeah.
I know for example, some farmers, okay, dia hantar ke Singapura, okay, dia punya plot dia punya cara buat benda-benda, cara dia ditanam, cara dia buat ni masuk-masuk dia punya fertilizer tu lain. Pasal sana enforcement dia maybe higher lah kot, I'm not so sure. But tapi so we have to be very careful. I only can come here and tell you, maybe enforcement should come and help us find out and see whether, for example, chicken tu ada antibiotik ke dalam tu. Masih ada antibiotik ke? Pasal apa kita guna chicken antibiotik, kita inject antibiotik. Tapi antibiotik tu dah keluar ke? Ada lagi ke? There was a study done in Iran, for example. Iran, they did a study, I got a paper to tell you, to prove to you that they did a study on the chicken. They took the meat, they do a TLC, liquid chromatography, and then they found antibiotics in chicken. Okay,
wow.
Antibiotics in chicken, because the antibiotics have not been removed. Okay, now if I go to supermarket now, okay, I go to one of the supermarkets here nearby my house. Okay, today you have got antibiotic-free chicken, for example. Antibiotic-free chicken, maknanya chicken tu tak ada antibiotik. The fact that there is antibiotic-free chicken, maknanya chicken lain tu mungkin ada antibiotik, for example lah kan. So, siapa yang boleh tolong kita tahu benda ni ada antibiotik atau benda ada artificial colouring ke, atau ada masuk sugar yang tak betul ke, bukan natural sugar tapi artificial sugar. Siapa yang tahu? Saya pun tak tahu macam mana nak tahu kan. Okay, so I only can urge, kalau ada kawan enforcement tu, kita kena meningkatkan enforcement, ambil sampel-sampel makanan ni. Kalau ada, of course they are doing it, but maybe not enough, I'm not so sure. I know the enforcement are doing a lot of work, maybe they don't have enough enforcement ke, tak ada cukup ni, tapi we have to find a way to make sure that our food is safe for consumption, because we are using herbicide, pesticide, macam-macam benda yang sudah masuk dalam kita punya makanan hari ni. Macam mana nak tahu? Tak tahu. Okay, itu yang problem dia sekarang. Sometimes I also don't know what to do.
Yeah, but we kind of know this is important, right? Kita tahu, kita sedar, kita aware about this. Mr. Jagdev, on top of that, dulu kita perasan buah-buahan kita when we tanam, contoh pisang, dimasak di pokok.
Correct.
You got me? Right?
Correct.
So that's why it contains high nutrients. Examples, people argue about high vitamin C dalam buah, and although that's maybe one of the reasons also that we understand about that. Sekarang buah-buah dimasak, dipaksa masak. Sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
So
Artificial.
that's the one that yang kita cuba. Yeah, it is a discussion platform. Kita tahu buah tu dia ambil lebih awal dan dipaksa masak dengan menggunakan ejen-ejen di masa dia bukan berada di atas pokok. That's what we're trying to say, right? So those things, benda-benda macam tu yang yes, kita tak boleh control semua benda, as Jagdev says, we can't control all around us, tapi we have to know about this so that we got to aware what's happening. At least we can do something about it. Sooner or later, should, right? Of course, in choosing the correct fruits and food is our options or what we can do now.
Correct.
Boleh?
But
right.
we can't do much before it reaches our plate. We can't do much because we got no choice. We got no choice. We makan je. Tapi apa yang berlaku sebelum tu, we have to control. And enforcement must come in to help us lah, Okay. Of course, the other thing is what Dr. Linda is saying is right. Dulu kita makan makanan yang masak atas pokok. Tapi nowadays, say for example the food is coming from Philippines. I know for example the bananas is coming from Philippines. Dia kena ambil keluar and then they have to send it over as quickly as possible, and then they have to make sure that it doesn't spoil. And how can we make sure it doesn't spoil? They must be adding something lah. Otherwise, pisang tu dalam 2-3 hari masak habis, dia lembek, and then it will spoil, it will rot. We know it. But nowadays you put pisang kat kedai tu, 3 days, 4 days, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks pun tak apa. So something is not right. I'm not so sure what is it. And I'm not the expert on this. I'm not the expert on this. Okay. Preservative.
Right.
Okay.
Okay,
These are
this
all.
is also important.
Yeah,
Yes.
they've added preservative. Why? To make sure the shelf life is longer. But as I told you just now, shelf life long, tapi kita punya shelf life short. So, and these are all found in almost every food lah. No choice lah. Ini I pun tak tahu macam mana nak tolong you all. Okay. For example, vegetables I boleh tolong. Normally what I do is I buy vegetables, I always soak it in baking soda. Okay, soda bicarb, baking soda. I soak it for 20 because there's a video I saw. After soaking it in baking soda for about 20 minutes, they found that the toxin levels will be reduced. So there's something that I can share with you. Baking soda is something that you can use in your vegetables. I also put my fruits because the fruits has. I like to eat the apple punya skin. Pasal apple punya skin tu, for example, ada pectin. Pectin is a fiber which is very good for your body. Tapi kalau you tengok, dia ada wax kat atas tu, wax. Okay, so you have to remove the wax. Okay, so you put in baking soda, water, put all your fruits or vegetables, put 1 teaspoon of baking soda inside a container, leave it for 20 minutes, and only then I use. Based on the video that I saw, they have been able to reduce the toxin levels by almost 90%. Okay, so that's satu tip I bagilah kat sini untuk
way to go. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, before I go to the blue zone.
Yes,
got,
before kita completekan kita ada masa, we have completed first 40 minutes. Thank you Mr. Jagdev. So next maybe 15-20 minutes like that, kita nak fokus kepada bonus sharing kejap lagi about blue zone. For that, maybe kita tengok apa lagi soalan from so far so good lah. The last three ni quite straightforward Mr. Jagdev, kan?
Straightforward. Okay.
So, alright.
Okay, let's go to blue zone. Okay,
please,
blue zone.
Getting ready everyone, please.
Okay, now blue zone is a very interesting phenomena. Okay, was started by a guy called Dan Bhullar. Dan Bhullar ni seorang scientist, researcher. Dia pergi ke seluruh pelosok dalam dunia ni, pergi cari orang-orang yang boleh, hidup dia macam 100 years, 90 years is normal, common. Okay, the chances of you finding heart disease, cancers, arthritis is very very rare in this group of people. So he went around looking mana dia orang-orang macam ni ada ke tak ada. Okay, so dia jumpa lima rumpun atau lima area dalam dunia ni di mana orang-orang yang hidup di dalam these places, they live very very long. Okay, normal, common to see grandmother, great-grandmother, great-great-grandmother pun ada juga. Okay, common. Okay, now the thing is, actually human life, kalau kita tengok kita punya genetics, okay, genetically speaking, we can reach up to 120 years old. Genetically. How we know? We know that the longest living people, there's nobody who has lived to 140, 150 years old. 120, 123, for example, in Malaysia, I think I mentioned this the last time, orang yang paling lama hidup dalam Malaysia ni is Mat Kilau. Okay, now apa dia Mat Kilau buat sampai dia boleh hidup sampai 120 tahun. 120 years. This is documented. Okay, in fact, when he first came out from the jungle, he was staying in the jungle, because dia masa dulu ini a little bit of history lah. Masa dulu orang British ni, they were going after some leaders lah, okay, who were pemberontak ke ataupun revolution lah kan. So I think Ahmad Bustam ke, there are few people Malays who were actually being hunted by the British. So Mat Kilau ran to the jungle. Okay, so he stayed in the jungle. How he lived, we do not know. One fine day he came out, and then he said he's Mat Kilau. Orang tak percaya. Dia kata, Mat Kilau, macam mana dia boleh sampai sekarang boleh hidup lagi? Tak boleh hidup. Okay, but then later they verify dia punya story semua ngam dia punya story, semua betul dia punya story tu. Dia tahu history tu so much that they say ini mestilah Mat Kilau. Okay, so apa dia rahsia, secret Mat Kilau ni? These are the same secret I'm going to share with you. Of course, Mat Kilau was staying in the jungle. Now in the jungle, there's no processed food. Okay? There's no processed food. I'm sure he wouldn't have eaten white flour, white sugar, for example. Betul tak? Mana jungle mana ada white sugar? Dia tak ada sugar. Okay, dia tak makan sugar, dia tak makan flour. Okay, so you go back and think lah apa dia makan tu. Okay, so now I'm going to share blue zone. So they have identified 5 areas in in the world which seems to have people who live very very long. Okay, dia longevity dia memang stretch sampai 100-120 tahun. Okay, Okinawa kat Japan. Okay, Ikaria kat Greece. Ni negara Greek. Okay, Ikaria dekat Greek. Sardinia is actually an island dekat Italy. Sardinia, orang-orang Sardinia. Nicoya adalah satu negara, Costa Rica adalah satu negara. Nicoya is satu peninsula kat negara Costa Rica tu, and the people there live very very long. Nicoya, and the other one is in California, Loma Linda. Ni bukan Dr. Linda ni, Loma Linda. Okay, so these are the 5 areas. Okay, 5 areas that people live very very long. So then Bhullar then go and look, stay with the people there. Apa dia commonalities, apa dia benda-benda yang orang Okinawa buat, yang orang Loma Linda buat, yang orang kat Nicoya buat, Sardinia buat, yang semua ada persamaan, bukan perbezaan, persamaan. Okay, apa dia persamaan culture-culture ni? Walaupun dia tinggal jauh daripada each other, tapi dia nampak 9 common things. Of course, Okinawa mungkin ada common things lain, Ikaria ada benda-benda lain yang dia buat, tapi 9 common things yang didapati dalam semua 5 regions ni, 5 regions. Okay, apa dia?
Apa dia? Tara. Okay, ini surprise kita nak cerita, kita nak share. First ever to be discussed by, to be frank lah, ya.
Mungkinlah first time di Malaysia ni.
First time in Malaysia, I have to say that, right? First time live, Mr. Jagdev, so-called, berbesar hati share this. Sebab kita dah baca banyak, tapi kita tak sempat nak share kan, bila kita busy and all tu. So dengan musibah COVID ni, dapatlah ilmu ni. Okay, over to you Jagdev. They are all ready. Ada yang cakap semua nak pindah Okinawa lah, nak tunggu Malaysia blue zone lah. Don't worry, tak payah pindah Okinawa.
We bring the blue zone here, Malaysia.
Yeah, let's become blue zone. Yes, maybe.
Okay, number 1.
Tak salah. Okay, please, over to you.
Okay, terima kasih Dr. Linda. Okay, so these are the 9 common practices. They call it the power of 9. Live longer by applying these principles from the people who have lived longest. Okay, so tak payah reinvent the wheel. Kita tengok macam apa yang mereka buat. Kita kalau sebanyak kita boleh follow, kita follow lah. If you follow 50%, 60% of these things, you're already going to live long already compared to most other people. So you don't have to follow 100%. Susah nak follow 100%. Okay, now number 1 kat bawah yang on your left hand side, downshift. Okay, downshift. Everybody always have got time to rest. Okay, time to downshift. Okay, reverse disease by finding a stress relieving strategy. It could be listen to music, relax, baca buku, ataupun lapangkan minda kita. So there's a downshift. Lapangkan minda kita. De-stress yourself. Okay, a lot of people, they are stressed. They go to work 9 to 5, coming back, they are struggling. They are always under a lot of stress. So this is not good. So you must find at least 10, 15, 20, half an hour. Find time to de-stress yourself. Okay, don't get engaged in any mind activity yang will stress you. Okay, now best is always meditation. Okay, I use meditation. Just sit down and just sit down by yourself with yourself. Okay, so this is a proper way of downshifting. Okay, that's point number 1. Number 2, you must have a purpose of living. Why do you wake up for? Apa sebab you bangun pagi? Okay, of course you pergi kerja. Do you know a lot of people after they retire, within 3 to 6 months, or maybe within 1 year, a lot of people die tau. Because why? They lost their purpose of living. They lost sebab apa mereka hidup. sebab apa mereka bangun
The big why.
pagi-pagi.
What's their big why? What's
Yeah.
our big why?
Yeah.
Add
Not
on
as,
a bit.
yeah, as you're working, you ada you punya big why tu. Tapi as you sometimes your big why you get lost. Why do I come?
Betul?
Why do I come to work every morning? For example, sometimes you get lost. Okay, so there are a lot of people who are miserable. Miserable. You know when they are happy? Every Friday they're happy. Every Friday they're happy because why? Got
Like
Saturday, Sunday.
Like
Okay.
today.
Friday they're
Memang
happy.
suka.
Okay, because for those who experience Saturday, Sunday as their weekend. Okay, Friday after work you tengok dia punya muka berceria dia. Tapi Monday gloom balik Monday dia. Ini orang ni Monday to Friday they are gloomy, Friday, Saturday, Sunday they are happy. Not right. That means why you are doing your work? What's your purpose of doing your work? You're not happy with your work. Then you have to find something which you're happy with. Okay, you have to find something very happy. I run a company. Sometimes people, I tell them, okay, today now you don't do this. This is my experience. People who are doing some work, and I say, look, I want you to do this work today. From now onwards, I'm giving you a promotion. And then they tell me, Jagdev, I don't like to do that work. I enjoy doing this work. So there are people who enjoy do their work. You remain, keep it their way because they enjoy doing their work. Some people, you give them any other work to do, they don't enjoy it. Sometimes it's a challenge. They take it as a challenge, but sometimes they don't like it. So they don't like it. After a while, they move to another company. Now, I always tell people, I always tell my staff, if you don't like what you're doing, go and find another place where you like to do. Because why? This is what we do. Okay, not everybody likes to do this kind of job, but you go and find something that you love to do. And until you don't find something that you love to do, you will not enjoy you will not enjoy your work, then you are under stress. And this stress can kill you. In fact, stress is one of the main reason why people die, why people get diseases. Okay, so wake up with purpose each day to add up if you wake up, you can add up another 7 years to your life. You need to find the purpose. Okay, you need to find the purpose. Now, you know the people who have who commit suicide, unfortunately, they have lost the purpose. They lost the purpose of living. So what they do? They commit suicide. Okay. Now, very good example, Robin Williams. You know Robin Williams, the actor Robin Williams. I used to enjoy his movie. You know, when we were young, orang yang tak tahu mungkin tak tahu. Okay, because why? Some of you are very young here. But when I was young, there used to be a sitcom, a comedy sitcom called Mock and Mindy. 6 o'clock, 6:30, I suka. Itu Robin Williams when he first started in his acting career. Tapi lama kelamaan.
Tahun berapa ni? Mesti Jagdev. Tahun berapa ni?
70-an lah kot.
Ya,
okay, Mock and Mindy.
lagi.
Betul. Okay, Mock and Mindy was my favorite show. Okay, and that's where Robin Williams. And I enjoyed watching his movie pasal apa. Initially he was a comedian, but slowly he acted in so many different characters, and he could imbibe. Dia akan masuk into character and portray the character dia. Tapi macam mana dia meninggal? He died. He committed suicide. Okay, there are a lot of singers. There are a lot of singers who commit suicide. They lost their purpose of living. Tau. That's a very sad. Very sad. So, power number 2: find your purpose of living. Okay. Now, this is not me saying. This is based on the blue zone. You see number 3, plant slant. That means eat less meat and more plants on your plate. This is not me, okay? I know based on my research, I also came up with that idea, but based on the blue zones, they also came up with this. And this is practical. Practical means they have been practicing this for probably hundreds of years, maybe even thousands of years. They've been following this lifestyle, okay? Plant slant. That means mereka 90% of their food is plant-based. 90% plant-based. Maybe meat once a week, maybe once a month, but meat only 5%, 10%. Now, I know there's a movement called the vegan movement. Vegan means dia tak makan meat langsung ataupun vegetarian tak makan meat langsung. Tapi kalau kita tengok blue zone ni, dia ada makan meat tapi very little. Dia tak makan meat every day. Dia tak makan meat every day. Okay? Dia makan meat very little. And we have already checked their food. about 90%, 80% or 90% of their food is plant-based or whole food plant-based. Okay, white bread. White bread is plant-based, tapi it's not whole food. Okay, now white bread vegetarians can eat, vegans also can eat, but it is not whole food. So that's a big difference between white flour dengan whole wheat flour. Ada perbezaan besar. Okay, so in the whole meal or whole food, semua nutrisi ataupun nutrient ada kat dalam tu. Zat-zat kalian tu semua ada kat dalam tu. Tapi bila kita guna white flour atau white sugar, okay, white sugar is also vegetarian. White sugar is also vegetarian. White sugar is also vegan. Tapi white sugar is not whole food plant-based. Whole food plant-based, sugar cane. Itu perbezaan besar. Orang tak tahu ni. Okay, dia kata, aku makan vegetarian. White sugar is vegetarian. Betul. Tapi it's not. So this is plant-based. Okay, that's the point number 3. Point number 4, again, if you're a Muslim, no, but again, this is based on the Blue Zone. They took a little bit of wine on a daily basis with friends to enjoy. Okay, so that's something that they all do in these 9 zones. Okay, in these 5 blue zones. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 6. Now family first. They seem to have a very close-knit family group, and they support each other. Okay, so invest time with family and this can add up to 6 years to your life. So you must spend time with your family, have dinners. They always have dinners with the family, for example. Okay, so our children are having dinner kat luar. We are having dinner kat luar, all eating elsewhere. Try to make it macam satu culture. Kita makan gaya hidup. Kita makan sebagai family every day, bukan sekali seminggu. Ada orang, okay, kita meet sekali seminggu. Kalau boleh, every day. If you're staying in the family, sometimes my children are going here, going there, but we try to come and have family time together. Okay, that's very, very important. Again, this is based on the common practices of Blue Zone. Family time is very, very important. Okay, then number 8, eat mindful. Now, don't eat 100% maximum sampai you punya perut boncet tu. Okay, you only have to eat up to 80% aja. This is based on, again, Blue Zone. Okay, eat mindful and stop when 80% full. Okay, this is again a very, very important. Kalau kita makan gelojoh. Kita tengok makan tu, because we are hungry, kita makan terus, makan sampai alamak tak boleh jalan. Very common. Okay, so this is a wrong way of eating. So you must have 80% rule. Although you're feeling hungry, sikit, tak kisah. Okay, stop. Kalau boleh, eat slowly. This is even sometimes we are rushing, makan cepat, habiskan kita punya makan. Tapi kalau boleh, eat slowly. Pasal apa? Kalau kita makan slowly, enjoy the food. Okay, when you are eating, this is again not easy to do. Don't lah tengok you punya handphone, kita makan macam ni. Orang suka tengok TV, makan sampai tengok TV. Kita tak rasa kita punya makanan. Kita tak rasa kita punya makanan. Apa kita tengah makan? We are not enjoying the taste, the aroma, and these are food which is keeping you alive, tau. And then we are not focusing on the food. Okay, first, of course, you say your little prayer to the food, and I know Muslims and Christians do this very, very often. Say a little prayer to the food, because why? By saying the prayer, the food will change and will give you the nourishment. Okay, we know, for example, water. Ambil water. We have already done this experiment. This experiment was done by the Japanese. When you put loud music, okay, the water chemical structure changes. But if you put slow, nice, meditative music, the water chemical structure will change. This is like mind-blowing. Macam mana water tu tahu ada water, ada music yang tak betul, ada music yang betul. So that's why when you say your prayer, the water molecule will change to suit your body. Okay, so very important. Okay, number 7, move naturally. Now, of course, you got your gym. but actually gym, you're not moving naturally. When they say move naturally, find ways to move more. You will burn calories without thinking about it. Go for your walks. Go to the garden. Go for your walks. Okay, just go and have a walking with your friends. Okay, or go and play some games. Play badminton ke, play with your family ke apa, whereby you enjoy the activity. But I know a lot of people, they go to the gym. Okay, gym very rigid, structured. Okay, 30 minutes they go gym. You are actually consciously trying to do things which is not right. So you have to just enjoy your whatever you're doing. So that's why they say move naturally. Now in all these countries, they're always cycling. Okay, I remember seeing Dr. Mahathir and his wife cycling kat Cyberjaya there, Putrajaya there. Yeah. So that's very good. Cycling is a very, very good, enjoying exercise. Okay, not the the machine yang kita ada tu, kita exercise macam tu, tak ada. You enjoy the nature, you enjoy so that's very important.
Pemandangan kan. Okay, actually Mr. Jagdev boleh minum air dulu. What you trying to say is not really exercise. That's why we don't put the word exercise here. Betul tak? Exercise give your mindset macam to exercise, something like that.
This is move naturally.
The word is movements. Sometimes kita pun functional doctors with the current situation, kita nak be away from the word exercise. Yeah, when we say exercise, everyone faham. But when we say movements, it can be at any movements, alright? Of course, dia adalah banyak lagi argument Mr. Jagdev. If you say so, nanti dia kata exercise ni bagus. No, we are not saying that. Kita tak nak argument yang tu di sini. Kita nak bagi konsep first, right? Memang movements is a good way to do. Jalan 10,000 steps yang currently movement juga, tapi you tak enjoy. I mean, we still enjoy the scenery. Betul tak? Mr. Jagdev kata.
Correct. You see, even I sometimes fall in this trap. Okay, I sometimes fall in the trap. Kita tengok kita ada jam yang boleh detect kita punya walking distance tu. We all are in our phone, for example. We all are stuck. Even I'm stuck sometimes. I haven't reached my 10,000 steps yet. Or I haven't reached my 60 minutes of movement yet. Kalau boleh, you enjoy lah. Okay, I know it's not easy to say, but not easy to do. Even I'm trapped in this world of trying to monitor kita punya movement, monitor kita punya exercise, half an hour and all that. Okay, so move naturally. Now, number 8, right tribe. Surround yourself with people who support positive behavior. Very, very important. Okay, your family, outside your family, your working people, your environment, your neighbors, who do you live with, what kind of people do you live with, they all must be positive. Okay, nyahkan orang-orang yang negatif, yang toxic tu. Okay, so you must be in the right tribe.
Sedap je nyahkan terus.
Nyahkan terus. Banyak orang toksik kadang-kadang tau. Dia cakap dia betul. You kena you punya brain tu dengar dia orang punya telatah tu, dia take away your energy tau. They take away your energy. So try as far as possible to stay away from this kind of people. Live in a positive environment. That's the track. Okay, and last one, have a religion. Okay, something that you belong to, you have faith in. This is called faith. Doesn't matter which religion, but you have a faith in something that you believe in. You have, because why? This keeps your integrity back to normal life. Okay, so you have a faith. So these are the 9 areas, common practices in Blue Zone. Dah pukul 12 dah. Okay, last. Okay, so food guidelines. Okay,
ada bonus lagi. What are the food guidelines? Please.
Okay, so going to daily. This is very fast. Don't worry. Daily, weekly, monthly. 90 to 95. See, this is I'm just not say 80%, tapi they are 95 to 100% plant-based. Okay. Now go. I'm going to read to you all can paham lah. Go whole. Okay. Single ingredient, raw, cooked, ground, fermented, and not highly processed. Okay. Now, very interestingly, I've also read this. One important food that seems to be going around all the all the 5 blue zones is beans. Beans. Okay, doesn't matter. Orang Jepun tu dia makan edamame beans. So edamame beans. In Nicoya dia makan black beans. Dia makan red beans. Kita makan kacang panjang, for example, that's also beans. So these are all beans. Every culture they makan beans. Beans is your source of protein. Okay. Then drink mostly water. Okay. Kalau coffee, tea, and wine in moderation. Okay. Kalau nak snack, please snack on nuts. Or you can also snack on fruits. Okay, that's what I normally do. Snack on nuts, snack on fruit. Now weekly, now you see the meat is not eaten daily. They eat weekly. Go easy on fish. Kalau boleh 3 eggs per week. This is based on the blue zone. Bukan saya punya. This is based on blue zone. And then slash sugar. Consume only 7 teaspoons of added sugar daily. Even this I consider is very high already. Now reduce dairy kalau boleh, cut off your dairy as much as possible. And again, not me, the blue zones retreat from meat. Blue zones centenarians eat about 2 ounces or less, about 5 times per month. Okay, so they are taking about once a week. That's the kind of. Okay, so these are the food guidelines based on the blue zone. Okay, maybe our food pyramid should change. I'm not so sure, but this is based on people who live very, very long, and this is their food pyramid. Okay, so summary. Okay, summary very senang aja. Okay, apa yang menyebabkan inflamasi? Ni dia 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, these are all the causes of inflammation. Okay, ataupun radangan. This is to eliminate. Now you see all here are unnatural, artificial food. Okay, here are all the natural nuts, all kind of nuts, avocado, cherries, any form of fruits, orange, vegetables, fruits, olive oil, minyak kelapa pun boleh, spinach, all form of vegetables, all form, all color. Okay, pineapple, because pineapple here they put because of anti-inflammatory. Turmeric, ginger, onions, garlic, macam-macam punya herbs kita boleh guna. Cinnamon pun boleh masuk. Pegaga is another one which I always recommend, which is good for the brains. So this is a kind of summary lah. Okay, apa nak kita nak makan? Kalau actually I tell people very simple. Apa kita boleh makan? This is a very simple way of looking things. Okay, kalau if that food is not available 100 years ago, kalau boleh jangan makan. Okay. Fried food 100 years ago, 200 years tak ada, memang tak ada. Kalau meat pun dimakan raw ataupun ni. Processed food memang tak ada. Sunflower ni, cooking oil ni memang tak ada. 200 years ago tak ada. Syrup, soft drinks pun tak ada. Fast foods pun tak ada. So mainly these are the food which you must avoid kalau boleh. Okay. These are the food kalau boleh you makan sebanyak-banyak boleh. From morning till night you eat this food. Let me tell you also, you will not gain weight eating this food. Eating this food, you will not gain weight. Kalau you makan ni food macam ni, you will gain weight. The sunflower oil, omega-6 can actually promote obesity. Gluten or white food, white flour, white sugar, they all promote obesity. Okay, meat also can promote obesity. So this is a very good food guidelines. Okay, so eat as little meat as possible. Summary: this is how you eliminate your good food and your bad food. Okay, add good food and eliminate bad food. Okay. Now these are all the anti-inflammatory food. Mana boleh dapat ni? You pergi ke Google, put anti-inflammatory food, Google image, benda ni akan keluar. You boleh dapat benda ni. Okay, so you can see ginger, fennel, sesame seed, turmeric, cloves, semua macam-macam spices ni, semua ni ada bahan-bahan yang very very. Actually this is medicine. Actually all this is medicine. Okay, can be Ayurvedic medicine, fruits, vegetables, they're all a medicine. Okay, so use food Thai medicine. Okay, with that kita complete all the 9 series kita, and also this is a disclaimer. I think I already told you a disclaimer, and itu sajalah.
Yes, wow. So this is your last slide tadi kan, the summary of the inflammatory food.
Yes.
Don't worry, Mr. Jagdev already sent me the copy of the slides. If you wish to get it, just comment. Just comment at the chat room too. You like to have the slides. I mean, we can share, right? We
Okay,
can
I
share
stop my
to
share for a while. Any questions?
yeah.
I'll be more than happy to answer your
Okay.
questions.
All right. Very good, Mr. Jagdev. So again, we are very happy that kita kita completekan 3 series for this year about this, what are the silent killer, what are the inflammatory food. Before that, Mr. Jagdev, ada questions juga yang PM ni. How about since we have been talking about all this from the first series until the third series, kita orang Malaysia tak banyak makan ikan, right? Kita bukanlah susah nak dapat ikan. Yes, we can get a fish, we can get our source of protein daripada ikan. Cumanya maybe our lifestyle, our way of life, kita ni always on the go. Sebab kita dah tahu makan pun kita nak cepat kan. So now we have to know that we have to look pause or keep ourselves in terms of bila makan, time to eat, we have to rest and take time to hadamkan makanan. Even Mr. Jagdev dalam sunnah, dalam Islam pun ada berkata-kata, you know. Mr. Jagdev kalau dia beritahu dia punya 3 hours kan, dia keluarlah hadis-hadis dia. Dia pun ada hadis, dia bukanlah ada hadis.
I will quote hadis.
Knows, he pun around us. He been with us, what I mean, right? Dengan betul kita yang masyarakat Muslim, ialah yang doktor saya. He knows that kita pun advocating, I know, in Muslims, in Islam, I mean as Muslim in Islam, kita advocating tak makan terlalu kenyang, right? We eat when we only hungry and we stop even before we really full, right? And chew the food 40 times, lebih 40 kali, you know. So ini yang this is all the blue zone punya
Betul.
you know, that what we have been discussed just now, something to ponder, right? We have it already, what I'm trying to say.
Betul.
Cuma kita ni perlukan sedikit apa kita panggil bukanlah hentakan sedikit orang ingatkan kita. We kind of know, but yes, sometimes we need people to hit on us to remind us. Alright, so back on the first question, Mr. Jagdev, about yes, we may not have, let's say kita yang dekat pekan-pekan urban area yang tak dapat sangat hasil-hasil laut like ikan, mackerel, salmon. Bukan tak boleh beli salmon, sometimes we know a little bit expensive. What is your advice? Ada seorang tanya ni, the PM me personal. What is your advice actually increase our omega-3 level, since we know from the food banyak sangat omega-6? Over to you, Mr. Jagdev.
Okay, of course, there are several strategies that is available. Okay, we are living today in the 20th century. Kita ada pemakanan suplemen yang kita boleh guna. Now, I think the last time I did mention to you all, watch Game Changer. There is a documentary in Netflix. Watch Game Changer, because according to the blue zones, all these food substances are available in our food as long as our food is not disturbed. Tapi katakan pemakanan ikan tu, they eat once a week, maybe perhaps once a week. Now, if you want your omega-3, of course there are supplements available. That's what I do. For those who are vegetarians who can't take fish oil, for example, there is also chia seed. There's also flaxseed. Flaxseed, I'm not so sure what's the Malay name for flaxseed, and chia seed. Flaxseed, 50% of the flaxseed is actually omega-3. So there is also, this is a plant-based omega-3 which you can attain if you don't have the fish from omega-3 from the fish, or you can take supplements. You ask Dr. Linda lah, supplement apa yang dia boleh recommend. A lot of people are taking a lot of all kinds of supplements, but supplements is another way of supplementing ourselves. Now, supplements make sure it's not your mainstay. Katakan kau dapat supplement tu, jangan makan makanan. Tak ada. Makanan is your first utama. Okay, supplement is just supplement saja. You shouldn't rely on your supplements to be the bawa benda-benda. You must go on your food first.
Yes, alright. So betul Mr. Jagdev. So again, Mr. Jagdev terangkan tadi omega 3 ada from plant, ada from animals. Animals yang tadilah fish, deep sea fish, mackerel, ikan kembung yang mudah-mudah nak dapat je, ikan sardines also, cuma itu sekiranya pemakanan kita agak kurang dalam tambahan, dalam day to day life, we can take omega 3 fish oil. I have to very frank. Sebab I know my food tak selalu banyak dalam ikan. I'm to very frank. I have to kita clear on what we are doing. Meaning that I tahu some of the days I know I'm not be eating fish well. Some of the days memang tak ambil pun sangat, tak jumpa pun justice. Let's say justice is running out from our in the house. So we can do that. I make a routine that we do the omega 3 as anti-inflammatory yang paling bagus. Part of it yang kita nak balancekan dengan kita dah cuba tak nak banyak sangat omega 6 from the food, all the veggie vegetable oil kita dah tahu dah, kita tak makan. Tapi sometimes when we eat out, kita terdedah kepada all those the toxic, kelebihan omega 6 tu, that we don't want. So of course, yes, as Mr. Jagdev says, ada banyak omega 3 in the market also. Omega 3 pula ada banyak yang even capsule-nya pun, I'm very particular about choosing my own omega 3. Meaning banyaklah kebanyakannya lah patient saya datang, doktor saya nak beli ni kat luar, how about this? Kita bukan tak nak comment on the omega 3 status tu. Kadang-kadang simple, dia punya kapsul pun dah bovine, macam tu lah. Some patients yang if you want particular on that issue, kita boleh discuss, boleh discuss one by one, see what is it yang needed, because your needed requirement is individualized and personalized. You have to sit down looking at your markers, the inflammatory markers. Your markers is important too. If tak buat markers, how do we advise? How do we go from there? Right? And food apa kita nak advise pula? Usually by doing markers, insyaAllah, we can know what to do. Right? I still believe diet kita still personalized, Mr. Jagdev. I still do believe. Especially women. Ada yang tak cukup iron, ada yang terlebih iron. Ada yang tak cukup, iron ni zat besi, ada yang inflammation, ada yang sekejap lagi terkurang inflammation. Something like that. We are not the same. With that, selalunya kita will personalize on your needs, on your personal needs. That's what I do believe. InsyaAllah we can do. Telur omega 3 ke? What is your comment about it? Come on.
Okay, I know there are a lot of people coming up with a solution. Mungkinlah telur omega 3 ni basically the chicken dia bagi dia makan bijirin-bijirin yang ada high omega 3 tu. So maknanya omega 3 tu akan masuk dalam kita dia punya body, dia punya telur. Tapi
harapannya gitulah.
That's how it's supposed to work. But you must understand, kampung chicken memang dah ada omega 3 dah. Kampung chicken memang nature has already put the omega 3 in the chicken. So you don't have to worry about the omega 3 as long as you're eating kampung ataupun telur daripada ayam kampung. Tapi if you want to have omega 3 telur, no choice pasal you tak dapat ayam kampung, then you can actually go and look for telur omega 3 as another source of your omega 3. But you must also understand that telur also they never tell you how much of omega 6 kat dalam tu. Telur pun ada omega 6. Okay? So because why? As long as the ayam tu makan dedak. Kalau ayam tu makan dedak, maknanya corn ataupun jagung tu which is omega
ayam tu.
So the jagung had got high omega 6. So actually the jagung tu akan omega 6 tu akan masuk dalam ayam tu. Okay, so that's why it is not really balanced. So that's why they give them more makan bijirin yang ada omega 3 to make sure that omega 3 go up. Tapi ada omega 6. Banyaknya omega 6 dalam tu kita tak tahu macam mana. So you have to be very careful. So best is maybe supplement lah. Fish oil kita tahu is all omega 3.
Betul.
But up to you. That one is open question. You decide for yourself.
Yeah, and then of course we believe just now it's personalized Jagdev. Kita tak bagi generic advice to everyone macam ni. Oh, you kena berapa ribu omega 3. I mean fish oil, you kena berapa bigger omega 3. We cannot give that. We cannot give that solutions or one one generic also called blanket advice to everyone. Yeah. In general kita tahu like berapa banyak vitamin C body diperlukan, berapa banyak omega 3, berapa banyak zinc diperlukan, berapa banyak iron or zat besi diperlukan. The end of the day, I still believe know yourself now. I think apa yang kita discuss from the 3 series kan is so much so that Mr. Jagdev punya intention that to me masa kita I melamar Mr. Jagdev kata tolonglah pergi live ni kita bersama-sama ni pergi live. Seriously, we want to have an open mind sebab kita berfikir dengan lebih lebih baik pada saat-saat yang susah di currently. I don't say susah lah, saat-saat yang everyone is struggling, we are struggling with the current pandemic COVID-19 kan, semua orang clear, semua orang faham. But what else can we do? Right? That's the most important. What else the most important we can do and control and take charge of ourselves. I think that's the most important. We are ownership our own health. Memang kita tak boleh ubah banyak perkara. Memang kita tak boleh ubah banyak benda. Sometimes we feel frustrated. But I still believe Mr. Jagdev and ramai lagi klik-klik saya yang rakan-rakan seperjuangan saya, ramai lagi doktor-doktor yang bersama-sama kami sangat believe dan percaya we ownership our own health dan kita boleh take charge of ourselves dengan meningkatkan immune system kita dengan yang kita belajar first series sampai ke 3 series ini. Masya Allah. I think it's so much so Mr. Jagdev dah almost 12 kita dah guna masa-masa kecemasan dah, dah 12-20 minit dah, Masya Allah. I know this series supposed to be a bit akan jadi a bit longer, that's why we started on time. Dan thank you again Mr. Jagdev. I think we have to end here, right? Sebab dah tengah hari dah ni, and of course everyone was telling ramai yang say thank you so much both of you. Ada yang panggil you Dr. Jagdev dah and Dr. Linda. Habislah anda jadi doktor dah. Pembetulan Mr. Jagdev is a professionally as a pharmacist for the past 35 years, tapi passion dia dalam nutritional medicine, dalam perjuangan je dalam perjuangan ini, Masya Allah, sampai you tak nampak dah muka dia sebagai pharmacist, tak ada tulis dah sini pharmacist as such. Anyhow, they thank you a lot for these 3 series. Thank you, Jagdev, and I personally thank you also. We may do more series like this. Mr. Jagdev mesti ada banyak topik-topik lagi yang kita nak share to public. Ya, betul? So we discuss once I come back, we can discuss kita can plan for next year. Boleh?
Thank you very much.
Kata-kata terakhir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much once again, Dr. Linda, to have given me this opportunity, beri saya peluang untuk relate dengan you punya audience. I'm so pleased that I can share with whatever I say. Kalau tersilap kata-kata ke apa ke, saya minta maaf. We all try to say our maaf because I think it's very important. Sometimes can luka punya orang punya so I minta maaf. I just said according to my research. Disclaimer, you please go back to your doctors, go back to your nutritionist, physician, doctors, have a dietitian for further advice. Or whatever I have said, you want to explore. Okay, you pergi cari Wikipedia, go and read. Okay, at the end of the day, it's not about my health. It's not about Dr. Linda's health. It's about your health. You are in charge of your health. Okay. One more last thing. One man's meat, as Dr. Linda was saying, one man's meat is another man's poison. So it is personalized. So we do not know what is right for me, what is wrong for me. Some food I like, some food I don't like. But some food you like, I don't like. Some food I like, you don't like. Okay. So individualize. Okay. So thank you very much once again for having given me this opportunity.
Masya-Allah, thank you Mr. Jagdev. Dengan
Thank you.
ini saya juga memohon ampun dan maaf sekiranya ada terkasar bahasa dan kekurangan datang daripada kelemahan saya sendiri, dan
Yes.
sebaik-baiknya kita ialah manusia kerdil yang melakukan kesilapan, dan saya harapkan kita berjumpa next week sekali lagi untuk live series yang terakhir untuk tahun ini, iaitu 2020, dan kita akan berehat sebentar sehingga untuk cuti awal tahun, dan kita akan bermula seterusnya dalam tahun yang baru dengan semangat yang baru, insya-Allah. Dengan ini, thank you so much Jagdev. Saya sudahi dengan wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you.
Bye everyone.